We started the farm, well, I got it from my father, lost him in '87. We're not real big, but we've done excavating, got into tile drainage business and stuff after I learned how important that was to start the no-till. We tried in the '80s with no-tilling, had some struggles because we've got some cool light colored soils, a lot of clay in them, just couldn't get them warmed up and to work. So then we got the water out, started making the no-till work. By '90, we were working on some cover crops like those hills you see. Would contour strips of wheat on them, down through the valleys. And from there, and I got a lot of slides here going to kind of, what Steve showed us, just in a little different. This is organic matter. This field was taken, well actually, on the right end down here, that's not my ground. That's a neighboring seed corn farm that tills the heck out of it. There was an accident. I had to co-op pull soil samples in 2011 for me. I was busy. Usually I do my own. They got across the fence row, but this makes it great. These spots you see are some terribly scoured areas that need a lot of work on them yet. But if you'll notice, that's a 1.5, and that's where I was at or lower in 2004, 2003. We got rid of the hogs. I'd had some manure, been on this field and everything, but we couldn't get the organic matter there. If you'll notice, in 2011, about 7 or 8 years of no-till cover crops, all this yellow area, which is exactly like this, is now in that 2.5 area. So we've built almost 1% of organic matter just with the cover crops. Mainly the no-till, we had started earlier, but it just wasn't going that fast. We do air seed our cover crops, most of them. I do some drilling. We've made this work. A couple of my grandkids just love to come out. They just love airplanes. So just a couple pictures of some of my cover crops out here. I'm mainly a ryegrass, crimson clover, two of my favorites. I started with the ryegrass. I've used some rye, tried different things, but over the years I've really liked the ryegrass myself. We've added crimson to it about 3 years ago. This year I did a 5-way mix. Problem is I'm running into this ryegrass now. If I put on like this 12 pounds or so, by spring is too thick. It's hard to kill. It just, so I thinned it out with some oats as far as on the grass. I'm still wanting the crimson in there. The radish, I don't know, but I left a few radishes in and I put some rape in this year to see what it would do. We're all talking erosion. And Barry, you've been down there. We don't have wind erosion. Look at the trees, look at the hills we got. We don't have wind erosion. It's out west, right? The Dust Bowl areas. This is just down the road from my house. This field was chisel plowed, bean stubble chisel plowed. This picture was taken about 2 weeks ago. I'm driving down the road. I took several more. I've got one looks just like it on a vertical tilled corn stalks. Where they ran it through, looks just like this. You go across and you'll see up on the left that these farms they actually touch each other. This is my farm. Corn stalks haven't been touched there. On the left is actually my wheat field. I blame Dale for that. We had wheat with the hogs, didn't like wheat. We're always doing something new. I hate wheat. Dale convinced my son that we can make money with wheat. Everybody down by me double crops. We're not going to double crop because that's part of why I don't like wheat. It's just not going to make me money. My intention is to come in here and grow organic matter and nitrogen for the next corn crop. So I'm looking, I've hit Barry up a little bit, see if we can find a plan what we want to do in here. So that's just some of we change every year. You got to be ready to go. This isn't my main sprayer. I've got a new Apache sprayer sitting out there that I'm going to hit with. But if it's wet and my ryegrass needs killed, You can't walk in a field. There can be water in a field, and this rig right here will go. I might only put 100 gallons of water in it. I can get out there and kill it if I need to. I've always been known as a strip tiller. This was my rig. I built it. It's been a lot of stuff. I think we're going to park it, or I'm going to try and sell it this year. I don't like, you see that much tillage in there? That's too much for me now. We went on to a twin row planter. It was a good transition to help me once I get to that point. I don't think I need it. I've got a slide later, it sure made a nice seed bed to plant into. This was earlier killed ryegrass small. I've gone into some late. This is ryegrass just a few years, 3 or 4 years ago. We sprayed it. I came in the next day with the strip tiller. The next day we were in here planting it. I think this has been probably 3 years ago because I hadn't planted corn. People ask what I've done good with no-till and how it's helped me in this stuff. Right there was my first John Deere tractor I could ever buy. You saw the tractor a little bit ago. There was my planting tractor right there. I had 1974 1130. But that planter right there, I bought it new in '99 and pulled it with that 74 tractor. And that's one of the reasons I say I can buy this. You got to get a good planter set up right. This is my corn planter now. It's one of those 12-row planters on a 6-row frame. That's a twin row. We've got it set up. I've got dry fertilizer in 2x2. We've got in-furrow liquid. So we're set up through there to do all that. It's an air seed, works great. We put an Integra monitor on it last year, so my son sat there and he played with the air by 1/4 pound at a time. If he couldn't get to a 99% singulation, he was mad and playing and working on something. He'd call me like, what do we do now? But it's very important to have the right equipment. We've gone to a twin row because I found high populations are working now. I'm getting my soil to do it, and we've proven that it is. But the corn's awful hard when you get up to 39, 40,000. It's going to lay over on you because we're planting too close together. But that's part of the soil health we've been building. I've gotten to that. Here's some of those water quality pictures that Steve had. This was a 2-inch rain and a little bit coming out of my field. There's a waterway right there going into my pond after that 2-inch rain. Number one, we didn't get near the runoff I would have expected but I'm in control of the whole watershed here, no-till cover crops. I mean, this is what it looks like. Right after the rain, this is what my pond looks like. I've got about 1 foot of water came up in it, and this is immediately after the rain. You can see how much mud washed into there on me. We swim there, my grandkids come out, we have a lot of parties back there. This is that same field after I planted, which you saw a little bit ago, planting into that ryegrass. This is in the summer. It had been a real wet early and then turned dry on us. I took this, I stood on top of my pickup, parked it right at the edge of the road. I turned around, took this picture across the road from the same spot, corn planted the same time as my field. But this guy tills, he's got his big tractor and a plow, and he's going to use them. I don't care how wet it is. I believe I know which field I'd take. That field on the right made 185 bushel an acre that year. What do you give for that one? When it shows right there's Barry, that's one of Barry's good ones. I was afraid he was going to have that. My long-term no-till cover crop, guess which corn plant came from that versus the tilled with the compaction areas and stuff? There's what we're seeing a difference come from. I did. It was hot, it was wet. I was hauling buckets of water out, pouring in. I'd dig a little, pour water in. It was a, yeah. Well, I didn't want to dig up all my corn. So, but that's what we come into. I did one study with part of the hub farm last year. This kind of cheats. That first one, the last one is the bushels per acre. 250. I did strip till. This is a misnomer. I'm still going away from strip till. I don't want to be known as, but we're going to do this and just try these tests yet. Sometimes things don't work the way you want them to. I wanted this to be equal, strip till, non-strip till. We were, what, 6.5, 7.5 bushel worse with the strip or with the non. Now in other fields, it was equal. I did some other side-by-sides. Weather can still play with us and what happens. Now we are going away. What we bought is a new fertilizer applicator. I didn't get a picture. The boys are working on it this week. We bought a Henniker air seeder, so we're going to try and use it. I still want to put the fertilizer in. We put several different fertilizer at different times. So when it all boils down to it, we have to work on things. I'm worried about what I do now. I'm not losing money. But that little bunch there, 50 years from now, I want them standing up here saying we've got the healthiest soil out there and this is what we want to do. So that's the reason, my motivation.